this. That way, when we're done, if you would like me to send you out a copy of the class that you just attended, I can do so. Okay?
Oh,
and
perfect.
yeah, okay, so this class is on the online store. The online store is web pages that the software can actually create that you can then link to your website or to your Facebook through widgets or things like that, that allow your customers to book appointments online or purchase gift certificates online or purchase product online. So we're going to show you how to set that up, and then this also works in conjunction with your app if you decide that you want to use the app as well. The app does a lot more than the online store does, but those three features activated in the online store will then work through the app as well. And those three features, again, are appointments online, gift certificate or gift card sales online, and retail sales online. So let's talk about how it works. So I'm going to click on the online button here, and that's going to bring up this Setup Online Store window. Now, it may look a little confusing, but it's really very simple, so I'll go over each step with you. And by the way, even though you take this class, that doesn't mean, oh, now I took the class, now I've got to set it all up myself. Absolutely not. You're certainly welcome to do so, but someone like me, any trainer, or and our graphics department will help you not only design it, but set it up with you so that once it's all said and done, you know that it's working properly, it's been tested, and you can start marketing it to your customers. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is where it says existing website address, you would put in your actual business's website address if you have one. It is not required. So if you don't have a website address, you don't need to put it there. But if you do have one, that's where it's going to go. Now, our website address is prosolutionssoftware.com, but you wouldn't just put in prosolutionssoftware.com like so. Instead, you would include the string like www.prosolutionssoftware.com. This way it turns it into an active hyperlink. That way, when your customers click on that, it will take them directly to your website rather than, give them an error or something like that. So you definitely want to make sure that you have the www if your website requires it. Okay, next is the email address. Now, again, the email address is not required. However, if you want to be notified when somebody does make a purchase of retail or books an appointment, etc., it will be sent to whatever address you have here in the email address field. So maybe you put your managers or an info or something like that. That's what goes in email address if you care to. Next, we have terms and conditions. You're going to write whatever you want into this box for your terms and conditions. And there will be a terms and conditions link on the web pages that your customers would be able to click on and read your terms and conditions. So you can write whatever you want here. So if you're only doing appointments online, then maybe you have your terms and conditions for that, like your cancellation policy, etc. But if you're doing all three, appointments online, gift certificates, retail, you may want to address all three of them in your terms and conditions if you have special requirements for your customers. Next is the bottom message. The bottom message can be whatever you want it to be, but it's just a tiny little line of text at the very bottom of the web page. So whatever you write is going to be there. So I've seen people write things like, if you have any questions, please call, and then a telephone number. I've put in Pro Solutions Software Inc. 2017, all rights reserved. That's what's going to appear on my web page. Finally, next we come down to the API login and the API transaction key. Well, by the way, Bruce, one of the things that I forgot to mention is that I'm trying to get a lot of information out in a very short period of time, so I speak very rapidly, and I want to make sure that your questions get answered. So if we get to a point where you have a question, please interrupt me, because if you don't interrupt me, I'll just run right over you. So please feel free.
Because I noticed that I can take this class more than once. So with
absolutely.
That being said, if I have any questions or needed to,
and don't forget, I can even. Absolutely. And don't forget, I can even email you the class that you just attended as well. Okay, so the API login and transaction key, these are only necessary if you're planning on selling gift certificates through your website or selling retail products through your site. If you're doing that, then you need to have an API login and transaction key. So what are those and where do you get them? Okay, in order to sell a gift certificate or product through your website, you must be able to accept credit cards online. So the way our system works, we use a gateway called authorize.net. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't use whatever credit card company you want. You absolutely can. They're going to be the ones charging you whatever the rates are that you've agreed to with them, whoever that company is. But what you need to get from that company, whether it's a company that we have given you or that you've gone with your own, no problem. But what you need to get from them is something called an online merchant ID. Now, you already have a brick and mortar ID from whatever company you use. That company has given you a brick and mortar ID so that you can accept credit cards in-house. You are not allowed to use a brick and mortar ID for online sales. And I'm not saying that because that's what Pro Solutions requires. That is one of the rules of the credit card industry, that they have separate merchant IDs for online purchases than they have for brick and mortar purchases. Okay, and the reason that they do that is because online purchases can have more percentages of fraud than brick and mortar. The reason, of course, is because with brick and mortar, the person is physically present and they're holding a card in their hand, so you have less fraud than if somebody is going online using perhaps a credit card number that doesn't belong to them. And because of that, the credit card companies want to make sure that they get to charge a higher rate for an online purchase than they would for a brick and mortar purchase. And that's why an online merchant ID is required for online purchases. Again, that's not our rule. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Okay, so
totally understand. My only question I have is right now I have my own online website and it's ran through something else. Would it be a way to integrate this with my own? Because I sell retail and stuff. I don't sell gift cards. I sell my retail products online.
Well, there's nothing stopping you from continuing to sell your products online through the system that you have now. Unfortunately, it will not interface with our system. We have created our own shopping cart that interfaces with our software. You don't have to use it. You can certainly continue doing your products the way you want, but maybe you still want to get your API login and transaction key so that you can sell gift certificates online, for instance. But as far as your current shopping cart that you have for your products right now, you can either stick with that without interfacing it, or you could move over to ours, and which of course is a direct interface.
Yeah, but I feel like I want to do that because then I can integrate it all from online and the ones that, because in store we actually use only your software to sell our retail products. So
yeah,
all integrated into one.
Definitely a good idea. Totally agree with you, and that's why it's there. But I just want you to be aware of that, because some people are very happy with their current shopping carts, and we just want them to know, yeah, go ahead and stick with it, but unfortunately you just can't interface it. Okay, so getting back to the login and transaction key. So how do we get these? Where do we get them from? So as I said, from whoever your credit card company is, you're going to request from them an online merchant ID. With that ID, you're going to go to this website, www.authorized.net. This is the gateway that we use. And then you would go to sign up, and you would create an account, an authorized.net account, using the online merchant ID that your credit card company gave you. That online merchant ID is required to create a an authorized.net account. But once you have your authorized.net account, authorized.net will give you a login and transaction key. And that is what you're going to plug into these fields. And once they are in these fields, then the shopping cart for your products and the gift certificates online will both now be able to accept credit cards, send the money to your bank, and interface directly with your Transcend software. So that's how you get those, again, by going to authorized.net, going to sign up, and then you can, using the online merchant ID that you got from your credit card company, you can get your API login and transaction key from authorized.net, plug them in here, and you are now using their gateway, which is what we use, and you're ready to go. Next, we have the main image, the side banner image, and the bottom banner image. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This is mine that I set up as a test one. And this is the main banner, or the top banner. This is the side banner, and this is the bottom banner. So you can either create your own and upload them, or our graphic arts department can work with you to create them for you. That way, when you know that they're the proper format, etc., and you're able to upload them into your system, or you can get the specs from our graphic arts department and make them yourself so that you know that they are, again, the proper format. Now, do you have to use our format? No. But if you don't, if they're in the improper format, you may start affecting the way some of these things look, and how much space you have for them, etc. So it's kind of messes with the format. So you definitely want to, if you can, use the format that we can give you or make for you. Next, let's move back here. Those are the banners, and you simply hit upload. And then you can go to somewhere on your computer, browse to what it is you want to use, and upload it. And once you've done that, that is going to be the image that's there. So you've got your 3 images for your banners. Then you have your main color. So as you can see, my main color is the background color behind my banners. And if somebody was on appointments online, for instance, this is the background before your, behind your verbiage and your buttons. So that's the main color. So it's easy to change. You just click on it, choose the color that you want. Let's go with this blue one here, and save. That's it. So now if I were to go in here and refresh my screen, now it's blue. So again, you're in control, so that you want to make it kind of look and feel like your website, so that it doesn't give your customers the feeling that they've left your website when they click on a button like book appointments or purchase gift certificate or whatever it may be. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back on my light green, and I'm going to lighten that up, make it nice and light, and save. And once again, now it's my green again. Okay, so I choose my main color, then my background color. Now the background color is this that you see on the left and right hand side. Now granted, it looks kind of like a lot of wasted space. This was designed to have a better look and feel on a smartphone. Even though the app does the same thing and looks better, the truth of the matter is that, and because the app, of course, is specifically designed for iPhones and Droids. However, if they're going to go to your website through their smartphone, then we want it to at least have a look and feel that works better with that. And that's why it looks like there's a lot of wasted space here, but not necessarily. All right, let me make that a little bit bigger so we can see what we're doing here. That's your background color. Next is the font size. The font size is defaulted to 3. It already says 3 when you first open this. You can choose 3 or 4. I made mine 4 just so that my font was a little bit bigger, so that it's just a little bit easier for my customers to read. However, those are your options, 3 and 4. Don't go with 5 or 6 or God forbid 12 or something like that, because once again, it's going to mess with the format. So your options for your font size are 3 or 4. And as you can see, it's easily readable. My 4 here, welcome to online booking feature, etc. So then we come down here to font name. Again, this is already put in for you as Arial. That's the default font name, and we recommend that that's what you stay with. It's very easy to read. It's one of the most commonly used fonts on the internet. People read it, easy. Can you change it to a different font? Absolutely. As long as that font is actually installed on your computer, you can change the font by putting in the actual font name that you do want to use. Having said that, some fonts are extremely difficult to read. You might think they're very pretty because it's, you know, like cursive or something like that, and that's fine. But when you have to think about your customers looking at it on their phone or on a tablet or something like that, you want to make sure that it's easy for them to read. So we recommend that you stay with Arial, but if you wanted to use something else, you can. Next, the font color. Now, when you first get this, it's blank. Now, your boxes will be black, but this field will be blank. If the field is blank, go ahead.
I know how to do all this, boss. I'm going to click on the black color and whichever color I want.
That's right. As long as the code is in, then you know you've got a working color. If it is blank, even if you have a color on the right, if the field is blank, then you're absolutely right. Then you won't have a color in there for it, and therefore it won't appear. Next is the button color. After we've gone through our font color, our hyperlink color, our previously visited link color, our mouse over link color. And what does this mean, by the way, the mouse over link? When I bring my mouse over a link, it turns it to the color I chose for mouse over link, to let them know that it's highlighted, basically. And any link that I have already used is going to be this darker color that I show, this kind of burgundy color that I have in the system here. That's my previously visited. And my hyperlinks themselves that I have not yet visited will be that blue, just like the lost password here and the help that you see. These others I visited before, that's why they are the burgundy. And then, of course, we come down here to our button color. I've got green here, and that is these buttons. Here, book now, products, gift certificate. You don't even ever have to show these buttons to your customers. You can have direct links to appointments online. or you could have a direct link to gift certificates online or to products online. So they don't ever have to see this. But if you're going to let them see this front page of the store, then you get to choose the colors of those buttons so that it matches what you're doing here. And we have blue, red, yellow, green, pink, orange, brown, and black. So let's just go with red really quick.
Well, can you re-explain that? That's for the gift certificates. You get to pick what color you're going to keep the gift certificates, or that's just the
no, it's just for these buttons. Yeah, exactly. So I choose red, and now it's red. It's just so that your front page of the store has the look and feel that you want it to look. That's why we let you change the colors of. That's all it is.
Important questions right now, though. My most important question, like why I even book the classes, I want to know how am I able to, from Pro Solutions, to actually set up gift certificates? I don't know how to set up gift certificates or sell gift certificates online.
Sure.
And then I don't know how to do. I want to learn how to do online booking or book clients through the Pro Solutions software.
Okay, so let's focus on those two items, appointments online and retail. We're going to get to, and gift certificates. We're going to get to all three, but let's start with those two, just like you said. Yeah. So once you have set up your online store, which is what this front page is, once you've got that activated and set up, then you can set up your appointments online, gift certificate sales online, and retail sales online. So we're going to start with appointments online. So I've got my store set up. So now I click on this button, appointments, and that brings me to this page, set up online appointments. So first we write our welcome message. We type whatever we want into this box for our welcome message. So what I wrote is, welcome to our online booking feature. If you have not yet registered, please click on the create your free account now and assign yourself a username and password. If you have already created an account, please feel free to log right in, Kim. Now I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to say Bruce, and save. The point is, let's go to book now, and now as you can see, what I wrote is all here, and the name Bruce. The point is that whatever you write, your customers will see immediately, just like it says Bruce here, because I just changed it to Bruce. So whatever you write, they see instantly, so make sure you've got it right, make sure that you've read it, make sure there's no typos or grammar or anything like that before you start marketing this to your customers. Now, after we've written our welcome message, then we have our confirmation message. Again, you get to write whatever you want. This is going to appear when your customer completes their booking process. Also, when they complete the booking process, they are sent an email that says, whatever you've written here, congratulations, you successfully booked your appointment online, and it will have all of their appointment information. Next, we have
anywhere I can put this on like a quick 1 minute hold. I need to run one transaction through Pro Solutions right now. I don't know if you have.
Not a problem at all. Let me go ahead and pause. Yeah, let me go ahead and pause this
for 1 second
and resume to the recording, and let's continue. Okay, so the next is the confirmation message, which we just described. Then we have our cancellation policy, and whatever your cancellation policy is, for when somebody books an appointment with you, you're going to have that written here. That's also going to appear during the process of booking an appointment online, and it will appear on the email they receive when they have completed the process. Next, we have show prices. If this is checked blue, then your prices for your services that you allow to be booked online will show. When your customer views that service, they'll see the price. If your prices change, or if they're variable, based on who they see or what type of client they are with long hair or whatever it is, you may not want to show your prices. Maybe you've got a menu of pricing already on your website that you can refer them to. So whether or not you show your prices is entirely up to you. This will show the prices. This will not show the prices. Next, we have hours in advance. The way this works is, if there is a number here, then that means that when a customer books or goes to book an appointment online, I've got a 1 here. That means that a customer booking at 9 a.m., the very first availability they would see, if it's available, would be at 10 a.m. If I put a 2 here and it was 9 a.m., then the first availability that the customer would see, if it was available, would be 11 a.m. So basically, it's just a little gap so that your customers don't book a 9 a.m. appointment at 9 a.m. because they're not even in your shop yet. So it's up to you whether or not you want to do that.
Exactly.
Then you've got your max days out. This works the same way in hours in advance, except it works based on days. So if you have a 0 here, they can book their appointment for the same day. But if they have a 1 here, then the first availability they would see would be for tomorrow. If you had a 2 here, the first available they would see would be the day after tomorrow. So it basically creates a buffer of time. So if you have a 0 like I have, then they can book on the same day. Okay?
And my question for this also is, can I integrate this into my website now?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, perfectly. Okay. That's what I was really worried. I want to definitely integrate. I don't have nothing like this.
Notice you have your URL here. This is your Appointments Online URL. You can turn that into a button and put it right on your website so that when somebody goes to your website, you might have a button that says, click here to book appointments online or something like that. And when they click there, it will take them directly to that page. Not to the front of the store, but to the actual Appointments Online page. Next, we have the cancellation policy. This is the actual number of hours that matches what you've written in your cancellation policy. So if your policy is 24 hours, then you would put a 24 here. If it's 72 hours, you would put a 72 here. By having that cancellation policy number in there, your customer cannot go online and unbook their appointment if they're within those number of hours. You could go crazy and say, I'm going to make it 480. That would mean that if they were within 20 days of their appointment, they could not unbook it themselves. They'd have to call you. So you could do whatever you want there, any number you want to put in there. Next is the booking color. When somebody books an appointment online, you get to choose whatever the color you want that appointment to be. That way, you can tell just by looking at your appointment book what appointments were booked online based on their color. Also, not only will it have its own unique color, it will have the word web next to their name so that you know that it was booked online. You can also run reports that show you, hey, I want to look at every appointment that was booked online last night or last week or whatever, because you can put in a date range for it. But just by looking at the appointment book, you'd be able to tell as well daily based on that color and the word web. Next, we have only book on the, and that is on the hour, on the half hour, on the quarter hour, the 10-minute, or the 5-minute. So let's say that you, Bruce, were actually a provider of services and that tomorrow you were wide open from 12 to 5. You've got nothing booked from 12 to 5. You leave at 5, but from 12 to 5, you're completely open. But in the morning, let's say you come in at 8, from 8 to 12, you're booked solid. So if somebody wanted to book an appointment with you tomorrow, the options that they would see then, if it was booked on the hour, would be 12, 1, 2, 3, and 4. They would get those 5 options, 12, 1, 2, 3, and 4, because you leave at 5, so 5 wouldn't be an option. If you said on the half hour, then the options your customer would see would be 12, 12:30, 1, 1:30, 2, 2:30, etc. So you get it. If I said on the quarter hour, they would see 12, 12:15, 12:30, 12:45, 1, 1:15, etc. So it gets a little bit crazy. For instance, if you said on the 5 minutes, those 5 hours would give them 60 options. Whereas if you said on the hour, they would get 5 options. So it's totally up to you. We recommend the hour or the half hour just to limit the number of options that you're getting.
The treatment they're getting, or can you?
No, it goes from the time that they book and then through the treatment time. So if the treatment is 45 minutes long and they book at 12, it would go from 12 to 12:45. But if you had it booking on the hour, the next availability would be at 1. But if you had it booked on the 15 minutes, the next availability would be at 12:45.
Yeah, but my question was, like, is a difference? Some treatments take longer than others.
Well, of course. Yeah, and it's going to book them out based on their time. But again, the starting time of the appointment is going to be based on what you've selected here, on the hour, on the half hour, on the quarter hour.
Yeah, sir. We do that right now. Like I'm going to probably keep it on the hour because that's how we do it now. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that's certainly fine. Like I said, on the hour or the half hour is our recommendation, but you can drill it all the way down to 5 minutes if you needed to. Okay. Next, over here, on this side, up here it says select which operators, groups, and or services will be restricted from online scheduling. So if you put a name next to anybody, I mean a check, excuse me, if you put a check next to any name, that means that that staff member cannot be booked online. So by having a check next to Fiona, she can't be booked online, but everybody else can. If I put a check next to Matt and Zena, then Fiona, Matt, and Zena cannot be booked online, but everybody who is unchecked can. Okay? Works the same way with your groups. Your groups are going to be listed here. And so you can put a check next to any group that you do not allow to be booked online. And every service within that group then would be restricted. Your customers would not be able to book a service that's in a group that you've checked. But what if you've got a group like, let's say, hair chemical that you do allow, but there are certain services in hair chemical that you don't allow? So you could actually then go to this list here, which is all of your services. You don't have to check the ones that are in groups that you've already checked here. But the groups that are open, you can find something like this Frame here, and you could check that and say that cannot be booked online, even though the group that it's in, the other services within that group can be booked online. So you can restrict by group or individual services. Okay?
Gotcha.
All right. So once we have set this up and we hit save, that's it. Your appointments online is now available. You can now take this URL, and if you're the web admin, you can turn it into a button and put it on your website. Or you could give that URL to your web administrator and have them do that for you. But then it will appear on your appointment book. So, excuse me, on your
I want it to
website.
appear on my appointment book. I want to see how this would like appear on my,
sure.
my Pro Solution software. Like
okay, let's do it.
Store.
Sure. So we've got our changes here. Let's go ahead and save any changes that we've made and get out of it.
The hours of which my employees will be there, or my hours of how I work, or how would I set that?
Well, you definitely have your schedules. Yeah, you definitely have your employee schedules, but the online appointments views those appointments, those schedules. So for instance, operator files, Jeanette, if I go to her schedule, I see that she works from 12 to 9 on Mondays, 12 to 9 on Tuesdays, from 9 to 5 on Thursdays, etc. Your appointments online looks at that. So the options that your customers will get will be based on two things. First, your operator's schedule and the appointments that your operator already has on the book. So the only options that your customers will see will be options that are in fact available for booking. So let's do it. Your customer can create themselves an account and assign themselves a username and password. I've already assigned myself a username and password, so let's do it.
Another question about that also.
Go ahead.
Another question. Sorry about that. Another quick question.
No, that's
about
okay.
That.
It's okay. Let's go
when
back.
When they create a username and password, would that also put them into like the point where their sales and stuff? Would that add them into our appointment book? Like, like our.
It adds them into your. Yes, it adds them into your Transcend software. Yes, if they're already a client. So let's go to it. Let's say create account. If they are already a client, it would say if you're already an existing customer, click here. And all they need to do is put in their first and last name and their email address. And then it will allow them to put in their username and password that they choose for themselves, and it will connect them with their client file that's already in your software. If they're not already in your software, then they're going to fill all of this out and create account. Again, now they're going, as you can see, username and password and verified password. They give it to themselves, and this will create a client file in your software.
Okay. Now let's see how it works when you actually book it.
Okay, so I've got my username and password in here. So I go to log in, and now it asks me to choose from the groups that Bruce has said are available. Notice down here it says individual operator prices may vary, okay. And I'm going to click on facial. So this is the group. I'm interested in a facial. Now I get to choose from the list of services within that group that I allow to be booked online. So maybe I want to do a collagen facial. So I choose collagen facial. Then I am given a list of operators that I can choose from. I can go with any operator, and then the system will choose for me, or I can choose somebody that I want to see. Like, for instance, I'll choose, let's go with Danielle. Then I get to select a date. And so it brings up May. I'm on the 24th, so that's highlighted. I could click here and go to June, etc. But I'm going to say Friday, the 25th. Check available times. So now I've got 9 a.m. with Danielle, 10 a.m. with Danielle, 11, 12, 4, and 5. I'm going to say 4 o'clock with Danielle and continue to confirmation. So then, current treatment selected, collagen facial at 4 o'clock on May 25th with Danielle. book appointment, add another service, or start over. I'm going to say book appointment. Now, not only do I have this information, but also I just got an email that says that my appointment was booked successfully. Let's go into the software and let's go to the 25th.
Just an email, would it be the, hello, morning, how are you? Sorry about that.
I'm sorry, what did you say about the time and the email?
I'm just saying, would the email go, is there any way I can set up the email to go to the esthetician or the person that's doing the treatment, or only it'll go to the people?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, first of all, if you're using the staff app, then it's going to be there for your for your staff member to view at any time. But also, whenever an appointment is booked, one of the things that the software can do, if you've got it set up in Darcy, is notify your staff member whenever you book, unbook, or reschedule an appointment for them. So yes, when this appointment got booked for Danielle, and there it is in that color, and look, there's the word web, so as you can see, it worked just fine. Matt Wiggins was booked for a collagen facial with Danielle in the Oak Room at 4 o'clock on Friday, May 25th. Now, not only does your customer get that email, but also if you have Darcy set up to notify your staff member, then Danielle would have just gotten an instant notification as well. And that's without the app. But if you have the app, then it's also on the app. So when Danielle at any time can check any date.
I need to learn how to set up her staff app. I don't have that set up at all.
Well, so I set that up. Our office sets that up for you. And lets you know when it's available, and it can be available the same day that you request it. And then we go through it with you to show you all the different things that it can do.
Oh, wow, okay.
So you could actually have, are you in the cloud, Bruce? Do you mind if I ask? Are you in the cloud?
I am in the cloud. Yes,
okay, perfect. If you're in the cloud, then your staff app can be available to you as early as today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
all right,
so
well, I probably need to get that done.
Okay, so here we got the appointment booked. There it is, as you can see, just like if you had booked it by hand, but it's got the color and it's got the word web next to it, so it worked just fine. Now, that was appointments online. Let's talk about gift certificates online. So again, after you've set up your store, you go to gift cards, and that opens up this window. Now, if you have pre-created gift certificate packages, they will be listed, and you can choose them, the ones that you want people to be able to book online. If you do not have pre-created packages, that's fine. You don't have to have any. Instead, you could just have it by dollar amount. So when your customer buys a gift certificate or gift card online, they say they're buying it. Oh, you need to get that?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead. You know what? It's good that you have these calls coming in because you're running a business, and you know, come on, it beats the heck out of everything being quiet there. Okay, so again, if you do not have packages that you want to offer online, no problem. Then it's simply going to be based on dollar amount. Your customer can put in the dollar amount that they want to buy the gift certificate for, rather than a package. Or they could do both. They could choose a package or a dollar amount. Totally up to you. Now, you set up your shipping methods. Now, I've got 3 shipping methods that I've already set up. When you first do this, there are no shipping methods. It's completely blank. I've created email, FedEx overnight, and USPS first class. I'm going to delete one of them so I can show you how they're set up. So I'm going to delete USPS first class. Done. And I'm going to save my changes. Okay, so let's take a look again. If I went back in there, now I just have email and FedEx overnight. Those are my options. Email is free. FedEx overnight, I said, was $15. Now I'm going to create a new one. Okay, so we go in here, and right here where it says shipping method, I get to make a new one. USPS first class. And then my shipping charge, $4, and add. That's it. That's how easy it is. So now I've got email, FedEx overnight, and USPS first class. So you get to choose your methods. A lot of people just go with email. They don't want to deal with mailing gift certificates out or mailing gift cards out. They want people to buy the gift certificate online and print it out at home and come in and use it. They don't want to deal with shipping things out. So a lot of people just go with email, no problem at all. Now,
okay, my question with that is, if I email it to them and they just keep it on their phone or something like that, they just have to email when they bring it in. Is there a way for me to bring that up? Right now, as my Darcy Marketing, we've been using you guys as Pro Solution software for the last 15, 17 years, and we have never used gift certificates through online. We go through Office Depot and buy our own gift certificates and just give it to them through that. and we just run it like as if it was a check or something like that when they come in to pay for it or use a gift certificate. So
I'll show you.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that's not normally part of this class, but I will happily show you how to set up gift certificates in the software.
I have also a Darcy marketing class coming up at 1 o'clock.
It's not in there either.
It's not.
No, it's not in that class either. It's in the beginners class, but that's okay.
I need to do that too.
That's all right. I can certainly show you it. It's just you and me today. Nobody else is in here, so I'm happy to show that to you. But anyway, so once you've set that up, once you've set up your shipping methods, you're done. You can save your shipping methods and exit out, and now it's available to your customers. You just have to make sure they know about it. So let's go back to, I'm going to log out here. Now, I'm going to go to my store. Let's say that you had set it up and you have another call? Go ahead. There we go. Okay, so what I was just going to say was that you take this URL. Here's the URL here, and this is the URL that you're going to then put on your website as a button that says something like, to purchase gift certificates, click here, or something like that. So when they click on that button, it will take them directly to that URL, which in this case is going to take them to a page that might look something like this. Okay, so your customer then is going to put in the recipient's first name. So let's say I'm going to buy it for Dina, and okay, so I've got, whoops, don't enter yet, Matt. Okay, so I've got Dina Wiggins in here, and now the dollar amount or the gift package. So I could put in a dollar amount, or I could choose a gift package. So the Express Manicure is going to be 33, the Express Pedicure is 48, the initial aromatic facial, 94.50, etc. But I don't want to buy a gift package. I'm going to buy a gift certificate for $100. I could even put in a personal message if I wanted to, like, congratulations on being married to me. And then I come down here and ship to myself, ship it to a recipient, print it out today, etc. I'm going to choose email. Those are my options: email, FedEx overnight, or USPS first class. There they are, because that's what we made. So, but I'm going to say email, and maybe that's your only option, and that's fine. So they click on email and they continue. Again, it'll show them what they're buying. Dina Wiggins, $100, subtotal, shipping is free, total is $100. Add another gift certificate or proceed. I'm going to say proceed. This is where they put in their credit card information. Now, if they were, go ahead. You have a question?
No, go ahead. You can keep the point. I just wanted. I want to know with the credit card information. No, that was my question. With the credit card information, without running, I don't use you guys Pro Solution gift credit card, so I don't.
You don't have to
credit card. Oh, okay. I want to find a way though to keep credit card on file. Though I need to be able to do that.
Okay, well, if you're going to do that, you do have to use us.
Okay, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Like for cancellation fees for the bookings and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to say that the payment card industry data security standards require PCI DSS compliance for all software that holds credit cards. And so in order for us to meet that compliance, we built in a system into our software. Well, that only works if you're using our system. Therefore, you have to use one of our preferred providers. If you're going to go with your own credit card company, which is fine, but if you're going to, then you won't be able to store credit cards on file. Okay?
But if you are using our, how would I be able to charge for like missed appointments or misbooked appointments and stuff like that?
You wouldn't be able to through by holding a credit card on file unless you are processing through our provider. If you are, then not only do you have the credit card on file, but in the point of sale, there's actually a new button that says charge card on file. So if they didn't have their card physically present, you could still charge their card on file. But again, that doesn't work if you are not processing through our preferred provider. That feature doesn't work. But that doesn't mean you have to go with our preferred provider. It just means you have to go with our preferred provider if that's what you want to do.
I have to see the percentages they drop before I do that, but I have to talk to somebody, probably part of yourselves.
Sure, of course, and we can have a representative of our provider contact you, and I can tell you this, by the way, their agreement with us is that they match your current rates, so you shouldn't have to pay anything more than you're already paying in order to start processing directly through the software. Now, but that does not have anything to do with this, by the way. That's for brick and mortar. Remember, this is your online. So if a customer wants to buy a gift certificate online, they still are going to put in their credit card information, and that can go through whatever company you want, as long as they work with authorized.net, and almost all of them do, so I'm sure yours does too. Anyway, your customer fills this information out, including their email address. Now, if they were having you ship them a gift card or a gift certificate, then they would fill this information out as well. That's not necessary, because in this case, we're saying it's just email. So they fill in this info and they hit process. Now, what happens is this. If their credit card gets processed and it is accepted, then your customer gets an email with the gift certificate, and that gift certificate has your top banner on it. And it has all of the information, including the message, like, congratulations on being married to me. And it has a barcode and a number, so that you could scan the gift certificate in the shop, or you could type the number in. But the point is that your customer gets an email with the gift certificate with your banner on it. They can print it out at home, come right into your shop and use it. Because it's a direct interface, your software is aware of it. And so they can immediately use it, print it out, walk right through your door and use it. If their card was declined, however, they would get an error letting them know that their card has been declined. And obviously, they would not be emailed a gift certificate that they could use because their card was declined. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. So that's how that's done. Now let's jump to what we were just talking about earlier. Before we go to retail, let's talk about the gift certificates themselves. I know, like I said, this isn't normally part of this class, but it's just you and me, so let's do it. So the first thing I need to do is I go to Setup, Configuration, Gift Certificates, and then I go to Setup. Now, it wants to start at your next cert number. It wants to start at number 1, at your starting number and your next cert number. However, you've already got gift certificates out there, like you described, okay? And you probably have numbers that are associated with those gift certificates.
Yes, we do.
So you can choose, your next cert number can be whatever you want it to be. So you could go right here and say, I'm going to start at 2,500, or I'm going to start at 7,000, or I'm going to start at 99,000, whatever number you want to start with. That's going to be the next gift certificate number that you sell in-house. Your online sales are going to start at a completely different number that will never impact what you sell in-house. So once you have this set up, we'll accept that. Now we go to sales. So somebody wants to come in. I'm going to choose a brand new customer here. And I am going to say Bruce, and I'm just going to say new. Now we'll put in a telephone number for you, 555-999-3333, and add now. So there's new Bruce. And he wants to buy a gift certificate. So I click on gift card, or it might say gift certificate here. And I can now sell him a gift certificate. Now, if I had his other information, like his address, etc., if he was just buying it for himself, I could take all this information and just move it right over here by clicking here.
Or can you go through this? I want you to go through this process right here after you set it up to that. To how, like, I would go out to even printing the gift certificate out from you guys, or how it would even just look. Now, I'm like, put the address. This will have to be the person that is purchased by or purchased for. I have to fill out both.
No, you don't have to fill them out necessarily. You just have to have the first and last name. You can have this information. So for instance, let me cancel this. Yes, I'm sure. And let me pull up that client that I just created. There he is. And I'm going to put in some information here. 12345 Main Street, 90034, Los Angeles, California. And I guess that's really the only information I need to have in there right now. I could have put a lot more information in, etc., but we're going to save that. There we go. Okay, so that customer comes in and would like to buy a gift certificate. So I pull the customer up. Then I go to gift certificate. And as you can see, that information is now all in here. Okay? Now, maybe he's buying it for his wife. So I can just move. I can click that, and all of that information will move over. Now, if his wife was already in the system, I could click here and pull her up. Okay, I could click here and pull up his wife. But if I don't want to do that, if I want to add her to my system, then I'm going to put her in here, and I'm going to call her, well, my wife's Dina, so I'm going to say Dina, last name new, just like your last name there. So now, same address, but a different name. Okay, so then I'm going to come down here to my gift certificate amount. How much am I selling this for? Remember, this is in-house. This is not online. This is in-house.
Yeah, like say it was $100.
Would like to buy $100. So I'm going to say $100, just like that. If I don't put an expiration in, it will default to 1 year. But I am going to put an expiration in. I'll just type it in. I'm going to say 05/01 of 20.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Put a date. You can't put 1 year.
No. If you don't put anything in here, it'll default to a year.
Oh, okay.
But you can put in any date you want here if you wanted to. But if you don't put a date in, it'll just default to a year. So if I didn't put a date in here, that would have been 05/24/19.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I could put a date in there, so I did, and then I can choose who made the sale if I want to give them commission on it. I don't have to. I do not have to say who it was sold by. Then it'll just default to the salon. Then I can choose any of these. Do not mail. I'm not going to mail it because they're in the store and they're going to get it from me right now. So exactly. I'm not mailing it. Okay, and notice I've got print off. If I say print on, then it's going to print basic black text on a blank piece of paper. But if you've got pre-made gift certificates, then you can put those into your printer and you can have this print onto that gift certificate that you have pre-made.
Oh.
Or
well, okay, so if I have print on, I'm gonna have to try this out. I'm gonna have to test this.
Yeah, definitely.
I do have pre-made gift certificate.
If the print off is there, then you can just write this number right onto your pre-made certificate, and it won't print anything. But it'll still keep track of the certificate. So this is 18006. Don't worry about the A. The A is if you had multiple locations.
Okay.
So you had like 3 locations. This would be 18006A, and you sold another one at another location, which might be 18007B. The B tells you that it's at that other location, etc. But 18006 is what I need, except you have indicated that this certificate should not be mailed. Is it okay to continue? Yes. You have not selected sold by. Do you want to continue? Yes. Don't forget to remind client of no refund policy. You don't have to have that. That's up to you. Okay, so Bruce owes me $100 to buy this gift certificate. So I'm going to take his $100. We'll just say cash and accept. Done. Now, his wife comes in. Miss New comes in. And, I didn't add her. I could have, but I did not. So let's add her now. By the way, that's a preference.
I just want to know, how would you print it out?
With the print on, when you accept it, it prints. With the print off, it doesn't.
Okay.
I had my print off on, so it didn't print. But the gift certificate is still in my system. So let me just add somebody brand new. We're going to say Dina New, and we'll go ahead and just add her now. Or I could go to more, and I could say that she's actually part of another client, and so I'll go with Bruce here, and it fills in Bruce's information here, so I didn't have to put in that her address.
Something in Can you show me how to do that?
Sure. I put in Dina. I put in her first name and last name, but then I clicked on this button, which will allow me to
add the information from somebody else.
From somebody else, exactly.
Like somebody brought their daughter in or something like that, or their little kid.
Exactly.
You just saved me so much time by this. I never knew you could do that.
I'm glad that I told you about that. Okay.
This little button right here, this green button, it's like somebody bring their kid in or anything like that. You can click this green button and link them to a different person's account. Like say if my mom brought them in, you can click this button and it'll add all their mother information. Yeah, all you have to do is put in their first. You all you got to do is put their first and last name in, and then you click this green button, and then you can click on the other client's information, and it'll link them together.
That's exactly right.
Okay,
so here's Dina, and she saw Matt, and she got a bikini line wax. She owes me $28. We go to payment. She wants to use her gift certificate. So we click here, and now we can either, if it was a gift card, we could swipe the card, or if we had a barcode scanner, we could scan the barcode on her gift certificate if she has it, or if you're using pre-made gift certificates like you have, you've already written the number on there, so you just type the number in, 18006, and watch what happens when I do that. It shows me she has $100 on file on that 18006, and I'm going to accept that.
Balance for them and everything.
That's right. So now she comes back in a week later, and she sees Sasha, and she gets a back massage, and she owes me $39.10. And we go to payment and gift certificate again. And she's using her gift certificate again, same one. But notice now there's only $72 on it because she already used $28 last week. So we accept that. She paid for her $39.10 with her gift certificate. And a couple of weeks go by, and she
gave her a $6 discount. Why did that happen?
Oh, that's a whole different thing, but I'll explain it in just a second. So here, Danielle, she saw Danielle. She owes me another $50. She wants to use her gift certificate again. 18006. Whoops, wrong place. $50 and 18006. She only has $32.90 left now. So that's going to take $32.90 off her gift certificate. So she'll have $0 left on her gift certificate, and she still owes me $17.10 that she can pay with cash or check or credit card or whatever. So now I've used up her gift certificate completely. She no longer has any money left on it. She can buy another gift certificate for herself, or her husband can buy her another one or whatever. If everything works the same way if they bought it online. If they buy it online, however, you don't have to give them the paper that you have in the store, and you don't have to write a number down on it. They buy it online. They can walk right into your shop, and there it is in their hand, and you are then able to scan it or type the number in and use it just like you saw that one being used. Okay? Now, you said, why did she get a discount? And just very, very briefly, this is in the advanced class that we teach. The advanced class, you would learn about this, but that was a promotion. So I have an operator promotion for Sasha for my spring promo for Sasha. So I said that anybody that gets a service with Sasha from May 1st to June 15th gets the Sasha Spring discount, which was 5% or 15%.
Oh,
actually.
Wow. I need to do that.
So
I need to be able to,
that's a whole different, yeah, that class is, you learn about those things in the advanced class.
Okay. And another thing I have, I'm going to set, that's when I know our schedule is kind of closed right now. There's another few questions. I can do this without being on my main computer. I can do this on any home laptop because, okay.
That's right.
I was just wondering, I came all the way over here. I could have brought my laptop and did this, even though I don't have Pro Solutions.
You could have done it. You could have done it from home over a cup of coffee with your laptop and Wi-Fi.
I will definitely be doing that tomorrow. Thank you so much. Are you there again with Matthew?
Yeah, I'm Matt. I'll be teaching the class tomorrow as well, or whenever the next class is.
We'll be here. I don't know if it'll be the same exact class, the online class. I'm going to be trying to beginner class and then find another advanced class.
I don't think we have. I don't think we actually have classes scheduled for tomorrow. We do the classes once a week, and yeah, I mean, I'm going to be teaching all the classes today, so. I already
I have another class at 1 o'clock too, so I think I'm part of that.
Yeah, I think that's the Darcy marketing class. You're going to learn a lot there too, but that's going to cover other things. It's going to focus on Darcy. Okay, so finally, the last thing that we're going to talk about here in the online store is the retail sales. So we click on retail. Now you have up to 10 featured items. Okay, now with the featured items, it will show those products that you are about to, that you want to focus on. However, your customers will be able to buy anything from any of your manufacturers or your categories that you allow to be sold online. And I have not restricted anything. So everything, I'm allowing everything to be sold online. So no featured items. I don't have any, but I could have. I could have put number 30 in here, featured item, number 40, featured item, etc. And those are my SKU numbers for those featured items. When I set that up, and let's go ahead and just save that. In my inventory, for instance, I go to a featured item like number 30. This is my Guino Refreshing. I could have uploaded an image of that product as well. And it marks sell online. They're all marked sell online because I haven't restricted anything. But if I do that, you can't sell it online. But they're all already blue right now unless you restrict them. And right now, this can be sold online. Now, I don't actually have mine set up, but I do have an example one set up. So let me, I apologize, but let me get to that sample one really quick. So let me just pause this. I think I have it in here. Bear with me. Let's see here. I should have already had this queued up, so I do apologize for that.
No, it's totally okay. The only problem I'm having is that I have to leave in like the next 8 minutes. So
well, actually, yeah, the class is actually run over by 8 minutes. We're actually out of time, but I'm going to do this anyway. But let me just see if I can find it. Is it in here? Darn it! I should have had this queued up. I apologize.
No, it's totally okay.
Let me go here, see if it's in here. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. Darn it. Let me try. I don't have it. I apologize. So let's just, let's just go through the basics then. So I'm going to go back here. Let's go back to our store. What you're not going to see, unfortunately, is you're not going to see one that's really set up. That's really nice. That's what I wanted to show you. Unfortunately, that's just not going to, because I don't have that queued up. Oh, it's not even letting me in. Darn. I apologize.
It's okay, because with the product and retail, I'm probably going to stay on my own shopping cart, so it's all good.
Your shopping cart is really, the shopping cart that we have for you is really nice, and it's going to allow you to sell the products, and in your point of sale, an alert will pop up. Will I be able to
add pictures on you guys' shopping cart? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And so then an alert will pop up letting you know that somebody's just made a purchase online of product. It will even print out a mailing label for you, so you can take those products off your shelf, stick them into a box, and mail them out, and it will automatically remove those items from your inventory.
And it'll be able to print out a mailing label that will just have to tape on?
That's right, because your customers, or you can print it out on like Avery labels, so you don't even have to tape it. It'll already have sticky back because it's a label, and then you can just stick it right onto your box. You could do that too. But anyway, the point is that when somebody buys it online, they've already paid for it with their credit card online. So you're not processing a sale through your point of sale. They've already paid for it. It just tells you, hey, somebody bought a bottle of this and a bottle of that, and here's the shipping label that they filled out. So now you can print out that shipping label, take those bottles off your shelf, stick them in, and mail them out. And also, they can't buy them if they're out of stock. So if your quantity is down to 0 or negative, then they won't be able to buy it online. As long as you have product in-house that you can sell, then they will be able to buy it online. You put it in the box and off it goes, and it removes it from your inventory. So it's a really neat little system there, and it looks fantastic. And you know what, for the next class, I'm going to have that queued up so that I can show that off to people.
I will be back here at 1 o'clock, so I'm going to try to make it out. I got to go to the Valley, and then I'll try to
got it, Bruce. And I'm going to email this class out to you, to the email that we have for you. But if you have any
company at Gmail?
That's what I have, the eSkinCareCompany@gmail.com.
That is it.
You've got it. That's what we'll be sending it to, and you have an excellent day. My pleasure, and I'm glad that you found something that you didn't know about before.
I found a lot of stuff out. I need to find out a lot more. I need to learn a lot more. Thank you.
Good. You've got it. Take care, Bruce. Bye-bye.